Local protesters join with demonstrators in Cuba this week. It's a hot-button issue for both sides of the aisle in Florida.
The people there are tired of a dictatorship. You know, they like their freedom, and I think that we need to be supportive.
First off, your heart goes out to the Cuban people. For decade after decade, they've been oppressed.
Congressman Lawson and Senator Rick Scott, they both offer their analysis. We'll also talk about the American Rescue Plan and new child tax credits. Plus the resurgent coronavirus. Will safety measures go back into full force? And what should we expect from the Delta variant? Those topics ahead on This Week in Jacksonville. COVID-19 is the first topic this morning as case numbers increase and health experts fight the Delta variant. Joining us via Zoom, Dr. Sunil Joshi. Dr. Joshi is one of those experts with training from Mayo Clinic, University of Florida, University of Rochester, New York. Dr. Joshi, how do you interpret the spike in cases that we are seeing specifically in Duval County?
Yeah, and it's very, very concerning, Kent, to see the numbers go up as rapidly as they've been going up here recently. You know, you could say that, well, last year at this time we saw our numbers go up a little bit as well, but this is concerning because we also have a certain percentage of our population vaccinated, and we have recently backed off on wearing masks and the CDC's guidance with wearing masks, and so we're starting to see the numbers go up, and that is incredibly concerning to see the spike the way it's going up right now as well. It's not just a gradual increase. I mean, these numbers are spiking.
Is it something that was predictable? I know we had heard about the Delta variant, that this was something to be aware of. Is it something that you saw coming?
I mean, you can, you know, if you look at what has been going on in England, where they have very, very similar vaccination rates as we have in the United States, you could say that, okay, when the Delta variant gets over here into the United States, we would start to see an increase because we only have roughly 50% of our entire population in the United States vaccinated. And so you did expect to see an increase in COVID cases as a result. But what we have seen even more surprisingly is the higher rate of COVID positive testing and hospitalizations in the areas that haven't been vaccinated as well. And so here in Duval County, where we're roughly at a 42% vaccination rate, our cases are spiking at a much higher rate than they are in other parts of the country where vaccination rates are higher. And so, no, I don't think we saw that coming to see Jacksonville in particular be one of the most heavily hit parts of Florida.
So leading up to the first of the month, the Florida Department of Health detected 31 cases of the Delta variant. And then UF Health told us it's the perfect storm with this strain of the virus making patients sicker than before. So do you agree? Does it spread faster than previous iterations of COVID?
No question about it, Kent. I mean, in fact, studies suggest that this Delta variant is spreading 225% faster than the original Alpha variant was. And so the transmission rate is much more quicker in that group of people who are not vaccinated. And so if you are vaccinated, you are significantly more protected than the group that's not. And in that group of folks, that's 60% or so of our population here in Northeast Florida that's not vaccinated, that this variant of the virus is going to transmit much, much, much faster and easier than the previous variation.
Dr. Joshi, I mean, you're referencing it here, but it seems like the number of people getting vaccinated is just like grind to a halt here. At the same time, restrictions like social distancing and masks, those have relaxed. So do you see us going backwards in this? Will mask mandates, that sort of thing, will they come back this summer or fall, in your opinion?
Well, I certainly hope not. I mean, you know, that's going to be devastating to the psyche of our community. But when you do see the numbers increasing the way they're increasing and us not moving forward with vaccinations, you could see where something like that could happen. Maybe not so much in the general population as much as we may have to, you know, start to think about requiring that in schools, especially for the groups of children who are not yet vaccinated because they haven't been able to, the 6 to 11-year-olds who have yet to be vaccinated. So there is a concern that we might start to go backwards if we don't see these numbers start to come down. Again, we have to be concerned about hospitalizations here in Northeast Florida because the hospitalization numbers are going up, and we have to do whatever we can to mitigate those numbers.
So you just mentioned some of the younger people not being able to get vaccinated, it brings me to the fact that we are just weeks away from starting school both in Georgia and in Florida. How do you think schools should be responding here?
And I think this is a very important point, Ken, because right now we know that here in Duval County, our school board has decided that they're not going to require masks going into the school year. And when they made that decision, the numbers actually looked pretty good around our area. The numbers are now skyrocketing here in Northeast Florida. And if you look at the CDC guidelines, they were also okay with vaccinated children, in particular high school kids, not having masks in school, with certain exceptions. If vaccination rates were not high, and in particular were below average of for the region, if numbers of positive tests were increasing, when the numbers are 5% positive, that's a decent level of community spread. When you're at 18 and 19% positive, the community spread is now significant. And so when you have a group of children who aren't vaccinated, those that are between kindergarten and 5th grade, 6th grade, or 7th grade, it seems to me that there needs to be a reconsideration as to whether or not those groups of children should at least have masks required in school, because it's a very low-cost intervention that was successful last school year, and maybe something for our local school board to be considering as we go forward.
Dr. Joshi, I only have less than a minute left, but if you would just give your guidance to those young people, those 20-somethings who seem so resistant to getting the vaccine, what would you say to them on why it's important to get that vaccination right now?
I think it is critically important. I know a lot of the reasons why the younger population feel like they don't need the vaccine is because with the original variant, it was not targeting that group as much as it was the older folks in terms of the more severe outcomes with the virus. That is not the case with the Delta variant. You can talk to anyone at any of our regional hospitals here in Northeast Florida about the population of folks that are coming into the hospital with COVID. It is significantly younger than it was a year ago at this time. So the virus is affecting the younger groups of people who are not vaccinated. And this Delta variant is much more transmissible and leading to much more severe disease. So please get vaccinated, because we do know that over 90% or 99% of the patients that are in the hospital right now with COVID are unvaccinated.
Dr. Sunil Joshi, thank you so much for your time today.
My
So
pleasure.
we're changing the focus when we come back here. Cuba, a country in crisis with demonstrations calling for freedom. You're going to hear from two of Florida's federal lawmakers coming up on This Week in Jacksonville.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the all-new 2022 Volkswagen Taos has a lower cost of maintenance than Toyota RAV4. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the all-new 2022 Taos S for just $229 a month.
If you have a dispute with your insurance company, we'll fight to make the insurance company uphold their side of the contract and pay your claim. Farah and Farah.
With Week for Life scratch-offs, you can win up to $5,000 a week every week for as long as you live. Yeah! Experience lifelong excitement with Week for Life scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's your ticket.
Claim it! If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 33 miles per gallon, an available 260 horsepower turbocharged engine, advanced technology, and an available extra-large touchscreen. The best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Get 0% APR financing on a new 2021 Subaru Outback. Going on now.
Introducing Wendy's new Spicy Black Bean Burger. Bold, spicy, crunchy. You know only Wendy's could bring you flavor this amazing. It's not just good for a plant-based burger. This is good for a burger. We got you with our Spicy Black Bean Burger.
Go to news4jax.com/insider and become a VIP today.
Take a piece of chocolate if you're the tallest. Take a piece of chocolate if you're better at eating your vegetables. Take a piece of chocolate if you love sharing.
You just want to meet your new niece.
Here she is.
But if slow upload speeds were to freeze your face and you accidentally snub a newborn,
Nothing is ever good enough for you.
Just remember, you're not a bad sister.
This is going to be a problem.
You just need better internet.
AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience with 25 times faster upload speeds than cable. Get AT&T Fiber. Plan starting at $35 a month for a year. Limited availability in select areas. Call 1-877 only ATT.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the all-new 2022 Volkswagen Taos has a lower cost of maintenance than Toyota RAV4. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the all-new 2022 Taos S for just $229 a month.
The Morning Show on Channel 4, #1, 9 straight years and counting.
By doing journalism that puts you first.
Getting answers to what's important to you today.
Late-breaking updates as we work to get back to normal.
Information to help keep your family safe.
Alerting you to scams and ripoffs. Time Saver Traffic gets you there on time.
Watching and tracking changes in the weather with Exact Track 4D.
The Morning Show on Channel 4 makes mornings happen. You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
And this week I spoke with Senator Rick Scott, Florida's junior member of the Senior Chamber. I addressed 3 main topics with him, including the fight for freedom in Cuba.
First off, I can't imagine why anybody like the Castro regime wants to do this to their own citizens. But the other thing that bothers me is, where's the Biden administration? Where's the international community? You know, we all love our freedoms. We love our Bill of Rights. We love the fact that we live in this country. But where's Biden? He should be talking about this every day. He should be calling world leaders all over the world and saying enough is enough. The Castro regime needs to stop beating up peaceful protesters. They need to stop kidnapping dissident leaders. We've got to stand with the Cuban people. I'm going to stand with the Cuban people. I hope everybody in Florida does. My expectation is the United States does it, and every freedom-loving country does it.
Is there something tangible that you think the United States should be doing? When we say we need to stand with the Cuban people, is that like saying, well, thoughts and prayers because you had a tragedy? Is it the same, or is there something tangible we do?
I think what we need to do is we need to get on television exactly what's happening. We show the videos. I've got videos of peaceful protesters being beat up. There's videos of family members that say their family members are missing. I've heard audio of gunshots, supposedly by police. We've got to get the world community to know this. Here's what I believe about what will happen. If the world community knows what the Castro regime is, that they're killing their own citizens, they're detaining their own citizens, their citizens don't have basic rights, I think the world community will show up, and I think the Castro regime will be gone, or they'll change, one or the other. And here's why it's so important what's going on in Cuba. If we stop the oppression in Cuba, guess what? Nicaragua and Venezuela, they're completely dependent on the Castro regime. And so we'll bring liberty and freedom to the Venezuelans. We'll bring liberty and freedom to the Nicaraguans. We'll stop the blockades, the protests in Colombia, because it's all being driven by what's going on in Cuba. So we've got to let everybody know, and then think of what else can we do to make sure that the Cuban regime doesn't continue. We need more sanctions. We need to not let people that are oppressing other people come into our country, bring money into our country, live in our country. So we got to be very aggressive about this.
This week, the American Rescue Plan has these child tax credits going out to people, and there are lots of families in Florida, and specifically in our region in Northeast Florida, who are saying, this is relief I need. How do you feel about those child tax credit payments going out? Because I know you've talked about your concern with the expense of the American Rescue Plan.
So I think there are people that need help, and we need to help them. We need to really be a loving country that helps the people that need it. But we also have to understand, this is not free. This is somebody's money. Either it's going to be a tax that you pay today, or it's going to be a tax that you or your children or grandchildren are going to pay in the future. There's no free money here. It's not like this money we have in the bank that we've saved. This country already has $28.5 trillion worth of debt. And so in the way I look at this, let's help the people that need the help. Let's don't waste your money, and let's don't make people dependent on government.
What do you think needs to be done there? Because we certainly don't want to see inflation as it was in decades past, where it was just crippling.
Well, it's here now. If you look at the consumer price index, it's up over 5%. The producer price index is up over 7%. That means that if for your dollar, this year, you're only going to get 95 cents worth of goods and services for that same dollar that you would have gotten $1 worth a year ago. And this has it's gotten worse every day, every month as the data comes out since Joe Biden got elected. It's caused by one thing. It's caused by is just unbelievable, radical, excessive government spending. I mean, government can't spend money like this and not expect to see inflation. So already this year, the Democrats passed a $1.9 trillion bill that is it's just spending money without getting a return. They're talking about another $4.5 trillion. Like when they say infrastructure, I'm all in. All right, I spend $85 billion in roads, bridges, airports, and seaports. I'm all in for that. As long as we don't raise your taxes, as long as we don't borrow more money. But they're talking about all sorts of new programs when we're seeing all this inflation. So inflation is going to hurt our poorest families. It's going to hurt our families on fixed income. And then it's all caused by one thing. It's excessive government spending.
Democrats are saying the spending is needed in order to meet people's needs, in order to replace some of those things that have fallen apart when we talk infrastructure. And these new programs are things that are going to generate more jobs and some of the things that you've talked about your whole career, better jobs, a better economy. Why do you disagree with their view?
Well, I did this as governor. I spent $85 billion of your tax dollars, but we did it at the same time we cut taxes and fees 100 times. We did it at the same time we were able to cut a third of the state debt. Now, at the federal level, how are they going to pay for it? They're going to raise your taxes, right? And I mean, we're already seeing inflation. So what? I mean, they're going to cause your cost of living to go up through inflation. Then they're going to tax you. By the way, in the Democrats' bill they passed back in March, they already raised taxes on the Uber drivers, the DoorDash drivers, and people like that. So when they go out and say, oh, we're just going to go tax the rich, there's not enough rich. There's not enough people. They have to tax everybody to pay for this. And then it just moves more people into systemic socialism. Let's help the people that need to be helped. Let's don't waste your money, and let's don't raise your taxes.
A Democratic member of Congress has his own take on the Cuban crisis and the high priority items on Capitol Hill. Al Lawson is next on This Week in Jacksonville.
This is the best summer ever.
Outsummer your best summer with great deals at the Toyota Big One sales event. Get 0% APR for 36 months on a new 2021 Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
If you've been injured by medical malpractice, call Farah and Farah for a free review of your case, even if another firm has turned your case down. Farah and Farah.
Arby's, 2 for $6 every day. Yee, classic beef and cheddar hot. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Are you searching for the perfect place to launch your next phase of life? Then check out Stillwater by Lennar, the new active adult community in St. Johns County with a bundled world-class golf course designed by renowned architect Bobby Weed. Spend your days improving your golf swing on the top Tracer driving range, lounging by the pool, or hitting the pickleball court for an evening match. The activities are endless at Stillwater. Each home is built with everything included. Entertaining offers now from the mid-300s. Visit StillwaterGolfClub.com for more information.
Kicks for the Kids is collecting new shoes for children in need.
Baby's cold.
When it comes to blankets,
Thank you.
size matters. Same goes for your law firm. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The next time you head to Florida, expect an even warmer welcome with Easy Pass. Now you can use your Easy Pass to pay for tolls on Florida's toll roads and most bridges. Take advantage of more convenience and more savings with one toll account, all across the Sunshine State. After all, on vacation, shouldn't everything be a little bit easier?
This Checkers Baconzilla is for Diego because he just pulled some overtime. So Checkers pulled out all the bacon, melted cheese, and 100% beef patties. Baconzilla time has begun, Diego. You've earned it. Get it delivered through our new rewards app.
Helping people never gets old. So when we're able to get them compensated for everything they went through, that is the mission and the goal, is to make sure that the client's better off than they were when they came into our door. Farah and Farah, here for you.
Here for good.
The best summer ever.
Outsummer your best summer with great deals at the Toyota Big One Sales Event. Lease a new 2021 Toyota Camry LE for $229 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
More than 45,000 households in Representative Al Lawson's district were scheduled to receive the child tax credit payments that began this week. The Congressman spoke with me about that and his view on the Cuban crisis as well.
Cuba is only 90 miles away from the U.S., and people are going back and forth. And so we have to be concerned about what is happening over there. And we certainly don't want it to get into a crisis where a lot of people lose their lives and so forth. But they need help. They need help, just like when we had to do a lot of help with the stimulus package during this pandemic. No one is immune from this pandemic. Even here in America, they need the same kind of help. And so, conversation with the president is we asked him to make sure. And, we have a U.S. Senator, Rubio, with a Cuban background. And I'm sure that he is on top of a lot of things and they're concerned. But we got to help our neighbor. I mean, as neighbor, they're closer, to the United States than Pensacola is to Miami.
One of the things that I've heard in terms of criticism toward America, the Cuban president says, hey, the reason all this is happening is because of the embargo. He didn't say the embargo, he said sanctions. Do you think that America needs to let up on that? Or is this a time to push forward with the embargo, the sanctions, the difficulties that we create for the Cuban economy because we're not in support of that dictatorship?
Well, we're not in support of the dictatorship, and we shouldn't be. But we are in support of humanity. And so we need to make sure if there's some critical things that we can do without giving an impression that, we're going to do everything we can for a communist government, that's another story. And so that's something that got to be worked out among the election and the Cuban people over there. But what can we do for humanity to give people a better quality of life or to help them? Or for those who want to come to the United States, how we do work immigration policy, because they've been good citizens in the state of Florida. And just look at some of the elected officials in the Florida legislature, Cuban elected officials, mayors of cities, and everything else that you have down there. So they've been outstanding citizens. So they are truly Americans.
I'd like to hear your view on what is happening on the federal level to try and help people through the pandemic. I know we wanted to talk about the child tax credit. I think we also want to talk about that bigger thing. Even this week in the Senate, they came up with a top line number for trying to help people recover from the pandemic.
But that's probably the best question that you could ask, because going back to a year ago, who would ever thought that we would be hit with this pandemic, not only here, but throughout the world as it spread? That just shows you how interconnected that we are. Well, we started, and most of it came through the committee that I serve on, financial services, when we did the first stimulus package. And we did the first stimulus package giving out, $1,200 to families who was in need, fall within a certain income level, so we could keep them going when they were not able to work and where they could spend money in the economy, so small businesses would have the opportunity to survive. And then we came out with the PPP loans, and that was very critical, working with the Small Business Administration to help them get loans so they could keep their businesses going, keep people employed, and that was critical. And so we had 3 of those. And the last one that went to the individual with the $1,400. And that was very critical also. But the most important thing that I was involved in is trying to make sure is that we keep these businesses going and some of the 501c3s who employed people so that we can keep our economy strong, because as our economy goes, so does everything else. And we provided money for unemployment for the state. We sent a lot of money down to the state, and we sent a lot of money down for Duval, for example. You know, on the last figure I can remember that we sent down to Duval was $186 million. And the mayor and nobody else said, we're going to turn this down. Now, if you had asked me the question about whether some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, who I've known for a long time, supported these measures, they did not. But I can tell you, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or Independent, working in these communities, that money was very important to help these local governments. These local governments need help like you could never see before, because they have nothing happen to them like this. And then at the same time, not only local governments needed help, just providing resources for this pandemic, getting shots in everybody's arm that we possibly can. And you see what has happened now. We in another increase because people are fading away.
What is the answer to the question about, hey, why would we go farther into debt as a nation in order to do some of these things? You feel like it's worth it to help people, right?
That's a very good question. And Ken, most of my colleagues on the Republican one that was in Congress back, maybe in 2007 and 2008, they voted to bail out Wall Street. We gave the big banks and everything, all of the money and stuff that you needed, which contributed to the debt. They never did think that one day that you would have to come back and bail out Main Street. And so what we're doing is we're bailing out Main Street the same way that we bail out Wall Street. Now, Wall Street is not being bailed out right now, it's Main Street. It's the average person, the middle class, you know, that support the economy in this country. Now, it's a good question, and I can agree with it when they ask the question is, how are you going to fill the gap if you spent $4.7 trillion? And that's a big question. And, you know, they have a plan, whether it works or not, is to make those corporations who are not paying any money and who are getting away with a lot of stuff offshore, is to bring those resources back here and to control the debt. Whether it works or not, no one knows.
This week, Representative Lawson also announced $3.2 million in federal funds for the city of Jacksonville to promote health literacy. Thank you so much for joining us today. This Week in Jacksonville, you always find online at news4jax.com.
See why every day more people are choosing News 4 Jax. Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.